So this is exactly what you do. You go on Google, you type in the city and state name, and then you type in realtors. Press enter. The next thing that's going to pop up is a list of all the realtors that serve that area that you typed in. Basically, I call them one by one and say this script until I find one realtor who's willing to list it on the MLS. This is what I say. Hey, is this Mr. Realtor? Hey, Mr. Realtor, what's going on? I'm calling because I need help listing a property on the MLS. Do you think you could help me? And they'll say, yes, da 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 da. What do you got? Now, if you're talking to a receptionist or an assistant, then you don't really want to give them the whole script or the whole pitch until you talk to the actual realtor. So if you're just talking to the assistant, just keep it at that. Hey, I just need help listing my property on the MLS. You could give them the address if you want, and they should take all that information back to the actual realtor. Once you have the realtor on the phone and you say, hey, I need help listing my property on the MLS, they're going to say, okay, tell me a little bit about it. This is what you say. I got this house in this city, in this town. It's this many bed, this many square footage, and I'm asking this much for the house. But I'm going to be honest, Mr. Seller, this is a novation, and I am a wholesaler, and I know that they have a negative connotation in the industry around the word wholesaler or investor, but I'm an experienced wholesaler. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and I've closed over 100 novation deals. And basically what I do is I just find a realtor in this area who's willing to work with an experienced wholesaler who actually knows what they're doing and is willing to make some money. Now, are you familiar with any of the terminology that I was just using? After you say that pitch, there is only 3 things that they could possibly say. They're either going to say, yes, I know what you're talking about and let's do it. Or they're going to say, yes, I know what you're talking about and I don't want to do it. Or the third option is, no, I don't know what you're talking about. If the realtor said, yes, I know what you're talking about and I don't want to do it, it's safe to just hang up the phone and move on to the next. Because if they know exactly what you're talking about and they say, no, I don't do that, they have a strong reason why, and it's not very likely that you're going to be able to convince them to do it. If the realtor said the third option, then I would just repitch it in a different way that I know they would understand. So I would say something like this. Me and the seller signed a purchase agreement saying that we're going to sell her house at this price, and there's an attorney in fact at the bottom saying that the seller gives me a limited power of attorney to sign listing docs and offers on their behalf. So basically I'm just partnering with the seller to list it on the MLS so we could find a buyer. Does that make sense? 9 times out of 10, they're going to understand what you said at that point. And they're either going to say one of 2 things. Yeah, we could do that. Or, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't do that. I probably have to ask my broker. If they're skeptical about it and they have to ask their broker, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to convince them to do the novation for you. So it's best to just move on to the next. And for the realtors who say yes, and they actually do agree to list your novation, it's pretty simple from there. They know everything. All they're going to do is send you a listing agreement. You're going to sign that and you'll be able to see your wholesale deal on the MLS within the next day or 2. This process and skill set has literally made me over $100,000 in just this year alone. I'm telling you that there's no other course that I see out there that teaches you how to do this. If you want to learn more strategies like this or the script that I used when I talk to realtors to get them to list my novation, just comment the word coach and we can hop on a strategy call and I can see if I could help you scale your operation with more novations. If you want the free script and contract that I use to